are some of the list of competencies that an employer or the owner can use to perform his duties in an organization. The first is accountability. It means you follow through an assignment, complete all the required parts of a project, and behave with honesty and integrity. Accountability is something that everyone is responsible for his own responsibilities. And if I will give you some task, you will be responsible to complete it and update me about the results or update about the deadlines. The second is ambition. If in your current job, define a long-term plan for your professional career, such as a series of promotions or you would like to achieve, and a short-term steps to get there. Because without any ambition, you could not be able to you could not be able to achieve your success rate in an organization. Because if you are working only to get a salary or to generate a four-figure income, then you will not have any ambition, or you will not recognize that what is your value in your organization. So it is very important that you must have something in your mind going on to achieve a good milestone in your long run. Okay. The third one is communication. Your ability to communicate effectively with co-workers can show your suitability for leadership positions and promotion. Communication is only the way, as you know, that we share our thoughts, we transfer our thoughts to others. We give words to our feelings in order to communicate with others. So communication is the basic skill an employer or an owner must have in order to transfer their feelings, in order to transfer their plans, or to share their plans with others. The fourth one is conflict resolution. An important aspect of good communication is the ability to resolve conflict calmly and productively. If the person with anger issues will communicate, he will obviously communicate harshly with others, and the others, irrespective of their plans, or irrespective of understanding their plans or their idea, they will get tired of them. Like, he is always a harsh person. We will not listen to them because he does not value our respect. So in communication, your conflict resolution is any key that you can resolve any conflict very calmly and very productively in order to share your thoughts or plans with your employees. Decisiveness. Whenever you make a choice or offer a solution in a moment of discussion rather than at a later date, you should show your decisiveness and willingness to respect deadlines and other things. Decisiveness can be explained in two terms. The first thing is decisiveness is something that a person should decide in the situation of any emergency. In an any emergency situation, you should decide what is right and what is not right. And the second perspective is that you must make decisions at the time of the discussion. Whenever something is in some meeting or has the scheme sharing paused. So decisiveness can be explained as I am explaining, that can be explained in two perspective. One should decide in an emergency situation, and the other one should decide when the meeting is going on, when everyone is sharing their plans, when everyone is sharing their decisions, that this should be done, this should be a good policy, and all that. The next is delegation. Delegation is something allows you to choose other co-workers to help you, so the workload is manageable and you complete the project successfully. Workload when there is a workload in a company or in an organization, the other employers must help the other employees in order to accomplish the specific task. If only one employee will feel the burden enough, he will obviously think that I'm the only one who is working for this company, and the other are just relaxing and getting their time pass in the company. So it is very important to have the same right for everything, for everyone, that the workload should be divided and no one will feel the burden while working in an organization. The seventh one is flexibility. Another word for flexible is adaptable, where you should show a willingness to adjust your work or priorities when a project changes. I know that everyone has a healthy boundaries. Everyone has a right to say no at the specific situation where they are uncomfortable with specific situation. But you should also be flexible enough to accommodate in an environment, or to agree with some of the things that sometimes are not unacceptable to you. But you have to be flexible because it is a human nature that everyone has some of the flexibility to show their willingness, to show their yesness to perform a specific task. So the next one is initiative. While it is important to have goals and ambitions to meet your personal career goals, show initiative at work can be a good way to offer innovative thinking and commitment to learn. So is it the same thing, while you think that you have some goals and ambitions to achieve while working in an organization, you should also show initiative to start off a specific task. You must not be the employees that you are working under your boss, uh, uh, like you are, yeah, you are not someone to work under your boss orders. You should also show initiative in order to work for a specific task, right? The next one is stress management, and the eighth one is initiative. While it is ninth one is stress management. An employer may want to know your coping skills under stressful situations like deadlines or time-sensitive assignments. I have seen some employees like when they encounter the stress, they always lose their control and they started shivering or they started being unconscious. Like what will be gonna happen now? So you must know that in a stressful management, first of all, you have to work on the deadlines. You have to complete your work before the deadlines arrives. But if the deadline arrives and you have not submitted your work because of some reasons, you must have that coping skills that you have to deal with stress management. You have to look after what is the important work to do first and what is not the important work. Like set your priorities according to the importantness of the work, right? The 10th one is teamwork. Teamwork involves sharing information, meeting deadlines that affects other work, communicating your milestones and completed tasks, and sharing credit for professional successes. Teamwork is something that also works like the delegation. You should work with your employees so your employees will not face any burden situation or stressful situation. Also communicate, also be flexible with deadlines as well. If your employee is not able to complete some specific task at a specific date, you must be flexible enough to give them enough time to complete the remaining pending tasks. So it is important to being flexible. It is important to have the team work a scenario in your company. The next one is what is meant by continuing professional development. It is basically called CPD. Continuing professional development or CPD is an ongoing process of developing, maintaining, and documenting your professional skills. So it means that you document, you list out your skills that you are currently working with in an organization. These skills may be gained formally through courses or training, or informally on the job or by watching others. For example, if someone is a good decision maker, you watch others and uh, want to also practice that skill in yourself as well. It is basically a training procedures which flourish your skills with the passage of time. So, how the continuing professional development take place? The process of CBD is designed to help you identify and act your development needs, how you should set your priorities, and in how many steps you have to complete the specific task. It is called CPD. It involves the variety of the competencies that I have discussed before. So, while using a continuing professional development, you must can reflect on your own learning. You must can apply your learning, how you can achieve the specific goals, and in how many steps you can gain a specific milestone. So the continuous professional development shows the professional development is like much other learning, best thought as a circular series of activities. For example, first of all, you should identify your plan. What is your plan? What are you going to achieve in a specific period of time? The next one is learning activities. In order to accomplish this plan, how which of the activities will prove beneficial in order to achieve this plan. After learning those activities, you will move toward reflect your learning. You will see that I am learning these activities, and I know that while learning these activities and while applying, I will be able to accomplish this part of plan. So when you reflect on the small things, you will see that you are going to apply your learning. So when you are working on a smaller task in order to achieve a bigger task, you you will reflect on your learning, and then you apply on the whole of the process in order to achieve a specific plan. Then you share your learning with others. For example, if you have learned a knowledge and you have shared with your employees, you and your employee will be a team, and you both will put your efforts. You both will use your efforts in order to accomplish a task. So the task will be accomplished in more manageable, more successful way. So this cycle is what is called the CPD cycle. So after I have discussed that this is the competencies the employer or the employee should have. This is the cycle you can use to accomplish a specific task. So what if the employees are getting working on these steps, but how you will realize that the steps you have provided to your employees are working out enough, how you are the plans and policies you have set out for your organization are successful enough. So one of the most common way of getting these type of data is to collect the employee feedback. If your company is looking for the feedback to help gather information on the overall training program, there are many ways to gather these type of opinions from employees. The following methods are great ways to gather feedback in numerous organizational areas to help identify training and development opportunities. Thus, there are many ways you can collect feedback from your employees to monitor your organization's success. Some are discussed below. So, I have listed down some of the steps you can collect your employee feedback. You can get the assess or you can analyze the results that have been matured because of your policies and company policies, or because of the rules that you have set out for your organization. The first one is new employee surveys. The first 90 days on a job are critical. Send a survey to new hires within the first 90 days of employment to learn about their early experience. In for example, in many companies or in many organization, I and as well as you also maybe heard of the three they when you are hired by a company, you will hear that the company have gave him the newly hired let me explain in more simpler words. For example, right, when you are hired by a company, the company tells you that you have the 3 months time, which is called your probation time. So, what is meant by that probation time? It means that you can analyze the policies and the rules of the workplace. You will identify what is going on in 8 hour during 8 hours in the workplace, how the salaries are transferred to you, how the employee how are the nature of the employees that you're working with, what is the nature of your boss, what is the nature of your work, how will burden you will feel. So the 3 months probation time is very critical. So most of the companies used to have a new employee surveys in their companies after their newly hired employees had covered the period of 3 months, which is called the probation time. They will collect the feedback from them, like how was your 3 months while working in this company? Did you feel the burden? How was the nature of your employees? How was the in how easy way you was able to meet your deadlines? In how easy way you are able to complete your task? So the probation time is basically called the first 90 days of the newly hired employees. The next one is employee engagement surveys. These surveys are a great way to collect large amounts of data from your entire workplace. These broad surveys can focus on anything related to employee satisfaction and engagement and retention. These type of surveys are conducted while the employees are working in a company for at least about 6 months or more. So these type of surveys are basically collected from the old employees, that how much they are satisfied with their work, how much they are satisfied with the company policies, and how much they are satisfied with the salaries and incentives as well. The third one is pulse surveys. As the name suggests, the pulse surveys means a minor surveys or the momentary surveys that you are conducting in a very shorter period of time, and for collecting the instant data you that you can have the access to. For example, pulse surveys are considerably shorter than employee engagement surveys, typically between 1 to 5 questions. This is an easy way to get your employee satisfaction rate or to get your employees feedback. So pulse surveys means that the shorter surveys that can be conducted instantly within a day for every employee, or within a day or two. So the next is stay interviews. Stay interviews are a great tool to gather feedback from the employees about why they are continue work at the company or why they may be thinking about leaving. So say interviews as this line has cleared all the concept that stay interviews means every employee should give their consentment that we are going to stay in the company because we are satisfied from this, or we are going to leave the company because we are not satisfied with this. So these are the stay interviews. The fifth one is review sites. Employees may feel uncomfortable sharing their thoughts with employers, so they may share them on a review sites like Glassdoor or Indeed. It's important to monitor these sites to find any additional feedback that can be used to address organizational challenges. For example, some of the employees may be shy or maybe scared enough to openly speak about something that they are not able to understand, that they are not unacceptable to them. So every company have their own feedback sites that the link is provided to the employee, so the employee will click on the link and submit their feedback about the company. The sixth one is manager 101. Weekly or monthly individual meetings with the employees on a manager's team gives the employee a chance to talk with the manager independently and ask questions or bring up any concerns they may have. This point is somehow critical to me because I'm also working woman and I feel the right that every employee must have the right to talk about their feelings, to talk about their um, uh, insecurities while they are facing in their company. So every manager or every company owner should have should must set a policy in order to meet every individual working under their company to gather their data or to gather their feedback, what type of situation they are facing, or is there any mistake, or is there any things that are undesirable to them. So it is very a good way to communicate face to face with your manager and talk freely about if you are having a problem with the company policy, or either you have a problem with any company employee. So this is the best thing, I guess. This feedback way is more important as the other one, because here you can share something by face with your manager and ask something that is you think that is good for you and for this company as well. As I have explained in the previous lecture, what is the SMART aims? The SMART is are those that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Specific means you should have the clear statement of what you are trying to achieve. You should have a specific goal. The next is measurable. You should measure your progress in order achieving that SMART aims. It should be achievable. It should be nothing that is imaginary or that is like a dreamy wish. Like for example, you are the student of inter and you wish to become a doctor instantly. So it must be achieved in the basic step. There should be steps that you should follow in order to achieve that specific aim. It should be relevant. It should be relevant with your idea. It should be relevant with your degree. It should be relevant with your experience. It should not be something that you have to struggle extra more while accomplishing a very different task. The next one is time bound. Sometimes it is called time sensitive and sometimes it's called time based. It means that you have the specific time that, for example, I am a working woman. I will follow my schedule. I will follow my schedule in this specific period of time. Like I am going to work for this in this time, and I'm going to work on this assignment in this time. So I have divided my time in some of the milestones that I am wishing to achieve in the specific period of time. The next is why to develop the SMART goals. Everyone should develop a smart goals, but why? What is the importance of developing those SMART goals? Developing your aim statement. An aim statement is written documentation of what you want to achieve from your improvement project and the time frame for achieving it. When to use your aim statement. You should develop an aim statement to help you identify and articulate clear, focused goals with clinical leadership. Your goals should focus on problems that cause concern as well as benefits for patients and staff. Your aims need to be specific and measurable and should link to the strategic aims of your organization. Once you have developed your aim statement, you should reflect on whether it is smart or may it is necessary amendments to ensure that it is. For example, I will give an example in a way like, for example, if you are working in a managerial company, so the boss gives you some task and you should identify that if I if I accomplish this task, I will be able to get better incentive. So you make the steps and you start learning activities, how you will accomplish this task. After you have achieved your incentive, you will have another smart goals to achieve your company. So by achieving one by one smart goals, you will be able to achieve a huge milestone while working in the same organization. So it is a healthy way to achieve your success. And this was the remaining half part of the lecture 3. Is it clear to you, Abira, or you have any questions to ask? Okay, we will move towards the lecture 4. So here's the lecture 4. So we will discuss about the legislative sectors, saturated or non-saturated frameworks in the health and social care. What type of the legislative laws has been informed in order to pursue the success in a healthcare organization. So many of the acts or many of the policies have been recognized since the history, because the care sector, health and social care sector is something that needs advanced laws, that needs advanced legislative in order to pursue the specific aims of the healthcare organization. So this includes the range of health acts that was being carried out for the welfare of health and social care organization. Following health and social care legislative act are explained. We will discuss about Ofsted, Children Act 2004, Children Act 2006, Children and Young Person Act 2008, and Equality Act 2010. As you can see, these laws has been carried out in the variety of the years. So in the present era, these laws are still in practice in some of the organizations. So the first is, what is Ofsted and what it stands for. Ofsted stands for the Office for Standards in Education, Children's Services and Skills. So basically, the basic concept of this type of law is that you should provide services for the children, you should provide service for the young people, so they can gain a better health organization, and they can have the better health balance for themselves and for others as well. So this is the main motive of this type of act. An independent non-ministerial government department reporting directly to Parliament. Ofsted is responsible for inspecting and regulating education and training for learners of all ages, and for inspecting and regulating those services which care for children and young people. So this is the main motive of this law, that there are the laws that inspect and regulate education. There is enough education to teach the young people and children about their health and how they can gain a better health benefits. So what is meant by Ofsted inspections? Basically, they are inspectors that have been recognized in an organization to inspect those education laws in an organization. In terms of school inspections, an Ofsted inspector is required to report on the achievement of the pupils at the school, the quality of teaching in the school, the quality of the leadership and the management of the school, and the behavior and safety of pupils at the school. Inspectors also consider the spiritual, moral, social, and cultural development of pupils at the school and extent to which the education provided by school meets the needs of the range of pupils, at, and in particular, the needs of disabled pupils and those who have special education needs. So what does it mean? It means that every school has inspectors who will look after the policies, that every child is safe in an environment, and every young people is getting enough education about for them and for others as well. So these type of inspectors only look after the policies, like for example, the police inspector or food inspectors look after the quality of the food that have been delivered to the people. So same is the Ofsted inspector that checks on the quality of the education that has been provided to the children and to the learners. So how much notice do schools get of an Ofsted inspection? For example, if the school is catched up that he is not giving a successful education to the children, or the school is or it is catched up with the things that are not necessarily required for the student, So, is there any notification that has been granted or type of the warning they will get before the arrest? So, schools are typically notified the working day prior to the start of the school inspection. However, Ofsted has powers to undertake no notice inspection in certain circumstances, for example, where there are serious concerns. So the next one is Children Act 2004. This act basically explains the welfare of the societal children, or welfare of the safeguard of the children, how they are being safely understood or while in education or non-educational settings. So while working with this law mainly focusing on to children to know how children should be looked after in the eyes of the law. So the principle of the acts are as follows: allow children to be healthy, help children to be happy, enjoy life, allow children to remain safe in the environment, help children succeed, help achieve economic stability for the future of children, help make a positive contribution to children's lives. So these are the main principles of this act, that children should be safe, children should be given the appropriate right, children should be given the things they are wishing for and all that. And the next one is the Children Act 2006. Some of the amendments were made in the Children Act 2004, and the new law was recognized, which was called the Children Act 2004. Basically, the this act works on the same principle as the previous one, but some of the amendments were made. The aim of the act was amended, and the new aim was the aim of the act was to transform childcare and early year services. It sets out new duties for local authorities and new integrated education and care framework and the new Ofsted childcare registers. The main aspects of the law came into the effect on 1 September 2008. It aimed to support the improvement of five every children matters. Basically, the motto of this act was every child matters. Outcomes for all children from the birth to 5 years old, reduce inequalities, ensure that there is sufficient childcare for working parents, and provide a better paternal information service. So this Children Act, they work on the same principle as the previous one, but however, it amended some of its laws, it amended some of its policies and the workplace in order to like ensure the better child care work for working parents and for non-working parents. The next one is Children and Young Person Act 2008. The main goal of the Children and Young Person Act 2008 was to, in a child's best interest, to provide boundaries and support for local authorities or other entities to regulate official intervention. So this act basically worked on the principle that the person should have familiarization with the child protection responsibilities. Everyone should recognize that their children matters and they have the special place in their environment because they are the future of their countries and all that. The staff looking after those children and those young persons, either with disabilities or with non-disabilities, the staff must be given appropriate supervision and support, including undertaking safeguarding training. And it basically works on the um, it was respect and the safety of the children and the young persons. So nor even a child should be a working child, or no young person should face the sexual abuse or should face the domestical violence and all the things. The next one is Equality Act 2010. The Equality Act 2010 Act legally protects people from discrimination in the workplace and in a wider society. So it means that everyone is this act mainly work on the principle that everyone is equal in the eyes of the law. Everyone is equal in an organization. Everyone is equal in the society as well. So everyone is having their rights in their own ways. Everyone has the right to speak about their choices. Everyone has the right to say no to the undesirable things. So basically, this law works on these perspectives that everyone has the same right as the other one. No one is rich, no one is poor, everyone is human, and so on. So discrimination is on the basis of one of the protected practices is unlawful. So if this Equality Act fails, everyone, since in present area, I know everyone is facing inequalities. The rich are rich and the are poor. The boundaries of the rich are something else and the boundaries of the poor are something else. But this act obviously follows the principle that every human being is equal in the eyes of laws. The next one is, what is a compliance management system, CMS? we have discussed the compliance system management, and now we will discuss about the compliance management system. So it basically involves the four steps that you should work in order to pursue a specific task. For example, the compliance management system provides the organization with a structured approach on how to comply in order to comply with your legal requirements. Within this integrated system, it includes features such as processes, written documents, functions, and audits to ensure your company is on the right track. So first, there are four phases of CMS. The first is plan. You should plan what is the intended goals and what are the intended policies you have to achieve. So these are some of the questions that the owner must ask by himself. What should we intend to accomplish here? What should success look like? The next phase is do. What you have planned is the time to do in order to act, in order to make this activity possible. So this basically step involves that you should do the ideas or the plans that you have made so far. You have to you have to critically assess those or analyze those results that are being progression in order to achieve a successful result. The next one is check, monitoring and reviewing what you are doing to maintain compliance within organization, or should be a regular integral part of ensuring that we are doing what we say we are doing. So it means that what your company says that we are going to satisfy with your employees, your company will actually, in the right words, will satisfy your employees, not that the company will always show off about their policies. So the third is check that your plans or ideas are bearing good results. Your plan or ideas are bearing the desired results that you have thought that by using these policies, by using these ideas, you must accomplish this task. So the fourth phase is act. Next, develop an action plan. Write down any preventive and corrective actions that you need to take place. Be sure to document in your follow-up that these actions have been completed. The best thing that you can follow up on the things is to write things on a notepad or write things on a piece of the paper. So by looking after those works that you have achieved, you will work better, and you will check that these responsibilities have been accomplished and these tasks are the pending tasks that you have to complete in the next period of the time. So these are the four phases of the CMS. The next is benefits of the CMS in your organization. Reduce legal risk. By having a compliance management system, you can easily reduce instances of compliance violations. Through real-time monitoring, you can receive updates, adapt, and configure your compliance workflow to achieve greater efficiency. Avoiding cost. Sometimes it may be costly at the initial stage. You have to invest in some of the strategies, but it would be fruitful afterwards. The third one is improve brand image. When you always do when your company always do whatever they say they will do for the satisfaction of the employees, you will always improve your brand image. You will always enhance your products activity efficiency in the marketplace. So you will definitely stand out between your competitors. So the next are equal opportunities policies. The purpose of an equal opportunity policies is to provide transparency and accountability to your entire company and what constitutes a fair treatment and what is considered discrimination, abuse, and harassment. Your policy should also address both direct and indirect discrimination. So discrimination can be direct or it can be indirect, right? So every company must have policies that every employee have equal right, have equal opportunity to prove themselves. So the office sometimes the term we use is office politics. So that should be a discrimination and that should be eliminated. So there are two types of discrimination. That is direct discrimination that refers the person because they possesses protected characteristics listed above and are perceived to have a protected characteristics or are associated with someone who does. For example, if an employee was being harassed at lunch by other employees for following a specific religion, that would be direct discrimination. For example, you are discriminating someone on the basis of their religion, on the basis of their race, on the basis of their skin color, or on the basis of their family background, or on the basis of their education background. So this is a direct discrimination in which you point out others on their physical characteristics. You point out other with for their appearance. So these are the direct discrimination that should be eliminated, and equal opportunities should be provided to every person, and every person should be treated equally. The next is indirect discrimination. When a policy, rule, or arrangement that applies to all employees discriminates against a certain group of people. For example, say your company has a healthy living initiative that includes team excursions and activities like skiing, hiking, and bowling. That's great, but it doesn't account for those with physical disabilities who wouldn't be able to participate. This would be an example of indirect discrimination. For example, your company says that we provide spare time for the employees to for bowling or for hiking, or we uh, we have arranged a movie plan for my employees today night and all that. So for those who are not able to see, for those who are not able to participate, will be eliminated from that group of people. So this is indirect discrimination. You must make up your policies that will apply to all the employees equally. Yeah, every employees will be able to avail that opportunity equally. No one should be discriminated either directly or indirectly. So this is what the equal opportunities policy says, that the indirect and direct and indirect discrimination should be removed, and everyone should be treated equally. So these are the laws, and these are some of the policies in the organization, or these are the laws that have been implemented in an organization in order to achieve the greater results in the sector of health. So this was the lecture 4, and we have now covered 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4 SS LOs. So in the next lecture, we will discuss about the task scenarios that are related to these 4 LOs, and our one assignment lecture will be completed. Is it clear, Veera? Okay. Have you any questions? Okay. Okay, if you have any question, feel free to reach out to me. I will always available to guide you. Or if you have any questions for the tomorrow's assignment, I will also be available for that too. So we will discuss in the next lecture, inshallah. Okay, that was for all. That was all for today. Take care. Allah Hafiz.